Hello again, everybody. This is Ken Allison, and along with Cobb Oxford, and it's mostly sports talk from Radio Anderson. Here, this is a kind of a messy Tuesday when we're recording this, and we're just discussing what a tough year it has been for college football, college baseball players. Oh, yeah. Man, it's just, and fans, and I guess those poor broadcasters. But the broadcasters, I don't feel that much sorry.
Well,
for
Division II, started the first of the month, so they've actually had to put up with a whole month of this.
Yeah,
mess.
I know, it's awful.
So, but yeah, yesterday was a beautiful day, and especially if you're a Clemson fan.
Did you play any golf yesterday?
No, I didn't. I really wanted to, though.
You gonna try to play tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah. I know that some communication we had.
Yes.
You said, it's supposed to be nice.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Today I want to talk a little bit about baseball, some college basketball. I want to mention, if we have time and remember to get to it, this whole business of that the Big Ten has brought up about going back to ineligible freshmen.
Ain't going to happen.
I don't think so. You know why it's not going to happen? Because Slive doesn't want it. That's all.
Well,
that's all it took.
I heard my buddy Mark Packer had an interview with John Calipari last week.
Yeah.
And that topic came up, and he's like, well, you know what? If that's what your league wants to do and you feel strongly about it,
yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead, league.
Do it.
Yeah.
In Big Ten, if you want to make freshmen ineligible, then basically you make yourself a non-factor in college athletics, big-time college athletics.
Yeah.
Because ain't no freshman going to go anywhere where they have to absolutely know they have to sit the first year. Now, kids still redshirt, but where they absolutely know they ain't got a chance to play the first year, especially basketball.
See, in basketball, there's a lot of one and done in basketball.
Well, and they're trying to stop
that.
But that's not the answer. I don't know what the answer is. The NBA is going to have to step in and help, and the NBA doesn't seem to be willing to do anything. I know the new commissioner, Silver, is he's talking about maybe an age limit or something along those lines. But, again, I don't think that'll hold up in court.
Well, what about the kids that want to come straight out of high school?
Yeah, exactly. If they're dumb enough, yeah. I mean, how many have actually succeeded
Moses
doing that?
Malone and Kevin Garnett.
Kobe Bryant.
That's
about it.
That's it, 3.
That's it.
I don't know how many tried.
But you've had several. You've had a whole lot more than that try.
Yeah.
But I don't know. College basketball needs fixing more than just the one and dones. The game overall is, I don't know, in my mind, is getting harder and harder to watch. And I don't know if reducing the shot clock will help any. No. I really don't think so. I just think the street ball NBA style has gotten into the game so thick now that I don't think we can reel it back, because if we try to reel it back, there's going to be so much whining and complaining that then we'll even have a bigger mess. So I don't know what the answer is. Widening the lane to the pro lane, maybe going to the international
lane.
Maybe moving the three-point shot back to the NBA level.
That might help some. But now here's another thing that drives me crazy. I've mentioned it on this program as we've done it down through the years. And all the broadcasting down through the years, almost 2,000 basketball games. And then people say, no, you could have done that. I used to sit down and I would do 6 games at a tournament in one day and do 6 more tomorrow and that kind of thing back in the early days. And I was making $5 a game, and proud to get it, by the way. But I used to try to understand and to talk to officials. Wait a minute, you didn't call that a foul then, but a moment ago down there you called that a foul. Or what about this? So I read a couple of books, talked to officials. I still have no understanding whatsoever of basketball officiating in any level. Now, I've never worked any pro level. I have worked a lot of college and a lot of high school and what they used to call textile ball around here. I just don't understand anything about the officiating. But the big thing that drives me crazy is there's no such thing as walking anymore. I counted 4 steps the other day.
Or palming.
Oh, now that would make a huge difference, the palming situation. But the other day at a college game, and I don't know if it's a Clemson game or not, watch a guy take 4 steps. And another thing, you jump straight up, jump forward about 3 feet, and then move again. You used to jump, and you came down, you couldn't go any farther.
Right.
Now you can jump forward, and go again. And that's the kind of thing, to me, that has taken a lot away from basketball.
Well, I officiated intramural ball when I was in college to pick up some pocket change. And it's difficult. It really is. It's
Gotta
hard.
be.
And it's anytime you have the human element. But my biggest problem is they're gonna miss calls. Okay,
Got to.
They're gonna miss.
Sure.
No, they're not perfect. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Just give me consistency. One game, if they blow air on each other, just breathe hard on each other, they'll call a foul.
Used to be the big thing.
Other games, if they'll allow them to club them over the head, punch them in the stomach, grab them by the jersey, put them in a headlock. It don't matter. They ain't calling nothing.
Well, Cobb, we used to crybaby a lot in after the tournament started because us of the ACC, you can have a phantom foul. And we go up and play somebody from the Big East or the Big Ten.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd bruise players and no fouls.
Oh, I'm telling you, and to this day, it still is a different. I mean, I've witnessed a couple of games in person at Oklahoma State, and there's a definite difference in the way the Big 12 officiates and the way the ACC officiates. There's no doubt in my mind.
Makes me think they should be moved
game,
around more.
Dr. Naismith did not create it to be the organized street fight that it is now. It's not supposed to be a physical game. It's supposed to be a game of finesse.
Yeah, they don't wear pads,
speed. Right.
They don't
maybe they should. Maybe we should adapt.
Put a helmet on somebody.
Shells and helmets, and let's just go ahead and do that. Nobody knows what a block charge is anymore. They put that little semicircle in the lane to help with block charge. Officials don't ever pay any attention to that line.
There's one I thought called on Clemson Saturday that this guy was 2 feet in front of that little circle. And I thought it was established. Maybe he was. Maybe it was not established.
And then the one that really drives me crazy is the Okafor from Duke. He gets he's unstoppable. Once he gets the ball down low, you can't stop. Well, of course you can't stop him because he uses his off arm as a bulldozer.
Somebody else did that the other night.
And just basically takes his defender, pushes him up under the basket, and then puts the ball in the basket. Yeah. And that's supposed to be an offensive foul. You're not supposed to be able to use that off arm to push, but he's been doing it all season, and they're not going to call it. And so I'm just really frustrated with the game, the way it's officiated, the way it's being played. It's just not. You don't see. I think the best, and it pains me to say this, but the best game I've seen all year was the Duke North Carolina game a couple of weeks ago.
That's another subject I want to bring up,
too. It was just up and down, up and down, up and down.
Well, it's two good ball teams.
Right, yeah.
Good coaches,
but I mean, it wasn't
systems.
It wasn't a grunt and grind. I mean, I watched Virginia and Syracuse last night, and I'm here to tell you, the first 10 minutes of that game was unwatchable. Virginia had 10 turnovers and 2 points. And I'm like, there's no freaking way this is the number 2 team in the country. And but by halftime, Virginia had the lead, and Virginia ends up winning by 12.
Yeah, I know.
And but the game didn't get out of the 50s. I mean, we need to get the game back into the 70s and the 80s, and get scoring up. I mean, there's no reason for good Division I men's basketball teams at the end of the game for both of them to still be in the 40s.
Well, now your coach that you like so well, is kind of an advocate of this slower.
Oh, he's a
defensive
defensive
style.
mentality.
Yeah.
But if they make shots, they score in the 70s. I mean, but everybody's pretty much defensive minded nowadays. There's a few teams. Roy Williams will throw the ball up, and they run as much as possible. But there's just a lot of Virginia is more than defensive minded. I mean that's how they're winning. And
That kind of remind me of the old Tate's Lock days at Virginia. When they kind of slow it. They play tough, hard defense.
Terry Holland.
And
you mean Terry Holland?
no, when I'm saying Tate's was here.
Oh, and Tate's was here.
Yeah,
Well,
it was kind of like
Clemson's always played that style pretty much. Clemson's never had a.
Yeah.
Bill Foster had that one team in 1980. They scored a good bit.
Yeah.
But Tate's and Schott wasn't much of a defensive coach, but he wasn't much of a coach either.
He's 21-8 this year.
I know.
21-8.
He's in Wyoming.
Okay.
And their RPI is worse than Clemson's.
Yes, it is.
And I'd just like to point that out to Clemson people who think they don't have a very good basketball coach. And then Rick obviously was a defensive-minded coach. So, I mean, Clemson's never gotten out of that mold.
Right. How much longer can Barnes hang in? Just hang.
I don't know. He
won
won a big one. He won a big one last night.
I know he did.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think he really needed that one last night. I don't know. This may be. I know last year they thought they might show him the door, and he came through with a pretty good season. I know they.
Yeah.
I think they'd lost 5 in a row until last night. So I don't know. I don't know how much longer Rick can go. I know he wants to keep coaching, but he's never
$4 million a year.
He's never really gotten over the hump out there.
I was trying while you were talking. I was trying to find their RPI. It is not super good. It's not bad. Kentucky's 1, Kansas is 2, Villanova is 3, Virginia's 4, Duke 5, Wisconsin is 6, Arizona is 7, Gonzaga is 8, Baylor, and that's kind of surprising.
Well, the Big 12 has got.
And Maryland, by the way.
There's a chance like 80% of the Big 12 will get in the tournament, or maybe 70%, which that would be a pretty significant accomplishment. But they've spent a lot of time beating up on each other. So there's a lot of teams out there in the 18, 17, 16 range. And,
okay, this brings up a friendly 5 from the club, by the way. Okay. All right. There are those advocates of the SEC and the ACC at
right.
the club. And an SEC guy.
I know who that
is. This is.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Former basketball coach.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He says that the SEC is going to have as many or more in the dance than the ACC.
No, he's wrong.
Okay, but wait now. I have just done a little bit of looking and all. Texas A&M's on the bubble.
I think A&M's in.
The last thing I said they're on the bubble.
I think they're in.
All right. I'd have to look up their RPI down here. Maybe be looking at it. Can you read that little thing?
Yeah,
I can't. I have a tough time. Okay. NC State is on the bubble.
A&M is 32.
Okay, so all right, and NC State.
NC State's not going to make it.
They got to play Clemson tonight, and they got Q's.
Clemson's going to pop that bubble tonight.
I
think they're already out anyway. But
all right, so here's what I have: Texas A&M, Kentucky, LSU, Georgia, Arkansas, and Mississippi is in a mock bracket that I got off the internet earlier today. So on the ACC, you got Virginia, Louisville, North Carolina, Notre Dame, and Duke. Miami's 18-11, but their RPI is way down there.
Not going to make it.
No, they're not going to make it. Which brings up North Carolina for a moment. We'll talk about. Do you think the players, the teams we just talked about, are going to make it?
Yes.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Even the bubble loses. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, ACC's got like 5 teams right now at 8-8.